Hey guys, your girl Brittany here, and welcome back to my channel. And as promised, I'm here to show you today the lanterns that I made just the other day. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Alright, so for this project, you are going to need a ruler and or something else that'll help you cut up straight lines, an X-Acto knife, a bone folder, or if you have one of these like Sizzix curlers, that'd be great too. Some adhesive. I am using double-sided tape for this project. A writing utensil, so a pen or pencil, and then of course your paper that you are going to use to create your lantern. So for one of the lanterns, I used one of my toilet paper rolls, and so if you don't have one that you can go ahead and use, for today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to make the roll, as well as if you don't have a toilet paper roll. And you can go ahead and do this by any height that you would like to do, but for this purpose, mine is 5 1/4 long by 5 3/4 long by 3 3/4 long. And don't worry guys, I'll go ahead and have that information down below in the description box for you. And so for this, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to add my tape first, and I'm going to, where are you? There you are. Just do it right along the edge. And so to get a nice roll, if you don't have one of these tools, you can just take a bone folder and start curling it. I'm just going to go ahead and curl it so I can go ahead and break up the fibers a little bit to get a nice curve just like that. So now I'm going to go ahead and take my tape off if I can. And then I'm just going to meet the edge of that tape, making sure I match up the ends very well. And then press down. So now your tube is formed. So for your next piece, for the actual lantern decoration itself, you want to go an inch higher than your tube roll. So this is 3 3/4. So this one piece of paper here is 4 3/4 tall, and then lengthwise it is 6 inches. So again, it all depends on how big you make your roll. To make this roll, again, it was 5 3/4 across. So I went ahead and did, again, 4 3/4 tall and then 6 inches across. Now you're going to take your ruler and you're going to measure 1/2 inch from the top, from the long sides. You're going to take your pencil and mark where your 1/2 inch is. I'm going to do it a couple times because I'm going to be drawing a straight line across. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So now that I have my points, I'm going to take my ruler and then I'm going to try to draw a straight line going across. Now if you're using double-sided paper, of course you want to do this on the side that is not going to be seen. And then straight line down. So now we have line across and a line at the bottom. So going lengthwise, we're going to go every 1/2 inch. And you're just going to make a little point every 1/2 inch. So 1/2, 1, 1 1/2, 2, 2 1/2, 3, 3 1/2, 4, 4 1/2, 5, 5 1/2. Now you're going to either take your ruler, or if you have like the fuse tool ruler, And you can either go ahead and draw your pencil lines if you want to, so you have a guide, but otherwise just take your ruler and match up where your point is, and you're going to take your X-Acto knife and you're going to go from the line that you drew, you're going to go from that line to your bottom line. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that, and you're going to do that for every point, half-inch point that you created. Alright, so now we're done with that. So now we have all of our slits in there, and I'm going to take my tape and I am going to add adhesive to the top and to the bottom. You don't have to worry about the size, just going to do your top and your bottom in between that line that you drew. Okay, so now that we have that, so I'm going to remove the tape from both the top and bottom. I tried this with glue, and because I was trying to get so close perfectly to the edges, the glue dried before I could get everything done. So that's why I suggest maybe doing tape. So again, if I guess it doesn't really matter if it's directional or not. Just at the very end when you add your string and everything, you want to make sure that you do it the right way. So you're just going to choose a side. I like to go over the little part here that I adhered to. I like to go over that. I'm just going to start at the bottom, not worrying about that top piece yet, because I want to try to get it close to the edge as possible without overlapping, just to give it a nice cleaner look. And then there's that part. So now we are going to push down, and starting with not the part that's overlapping, but the bottom piece, we're going to start adhering that to the top. Trying to get it again as close to the edge without overlapping. And there is your lantern portion. Isn't that super cute? Alright, so I'll be right back, and I'm going to go ahead and grab the rest of the things that we need to finish this off. Alright, so for this next part, you're going to need the string that you're going to use to hang your lantern with. You're going to need something to make your tassels. This tassel tool I got from Joann's on clearance. Not Joann's, Hobby Lobby on clearance. You'll need a hole punch, and then I'm going to make tassels. You can do pom-poms, you can do like butterflies or whatever hanging element that you want on the bottom. You can go ahead, whatever that you're going to use. I'm going to be making a tassel. And so what we're going to do is the tassel first. And if you don't have a tool like this, you can pretty much use anything. Like you can use a scrap piece of your cardstock, like chipboard, and it just depends on the length that you want to make your tassel. And you would just go ahead, you would go ahead and wrap it around and just keep wrapping it until you get the thickness that you want to get it. But I am going to use this tool here. So what I'm going to do, I have it where it's going to be 4 1/4 inches long. And so I'm going to start with my loose piece here at the bottom, and I am just going to keep wrapping around. So 2, 3, 4, and I'm just going to keep wrapping. And I'm going to go ahead and cut that part off. And then I'm going to add, I'm going to make it a little bit more chunky, so I'm going to add some more things on here. So So I got this trim bundle. I got this from Michael's, and I'm gonna go ahead and just see what other colors I want to add. So I'll do this yellow, I'll do this blue here, and let's see, I'll do this little cute pink pom-pom as well. So now I'm just going to use the whole thing, and I'm just going to wrap it around. You're going to take a separate piece, and this excuse me, and this is the piece that you're going to tie it off with. So I'm just going to trim some of this off, and there's a little gap right here that is made on this. I'm going to insert it into the loop, bring it around, and then go back through the hole. And now I'm just going to go ahead and tie it off. I'm going to wrap it back around because I want to try to get it pretty tight. But you don't want it to be too tight, because you want to be able to still adhere your tying piece to the top. So there's that. And you could choose to let it hang and let it be part of your tassel, or you can go ahead and trim it all the way, but not too far, because you're going to use something to cover that up anyway at the top. If you cut it too far, it'll probably unravel. So now I am going to take a piece, actually I'm gonna take this wire here, and I got this from Walmart, and it's 98 cents in the jewelry section. And I'm just going to cut a little bit, so probably about 8 inches. I'm just gonna cut it. I'm just bring my thing to the edge a little bit so I can go ahead and poke it through that hole without losing my hole. And you can use whatever. I like using the wire just because it's a lot easier to get through because it's not so fragile. Alright, so now I'm going to close it together, and I'm just going to wrap it around. So you can leave it like, depending on if you're using string or anything like that, you can go ahead and just have the string drape and use that to tie up on the top of your lantern. But I'm going to add beads to this. And so before I do that, I'm going to cut my tassel here. So I'm going to find my loop and insert my scissors. You can do it this way, or you can just go ahead and cut the edges if you want. I'm just going to insert in the loop and just cut away. Make sure I got all my little loops. And then here is when you just match everything up at the bottom and just cut everything so you can make it even. So there is the tassel. So now I'm going to get some beads. I'm going to use these beads here that I got from Hobby Lobby. And I'm just going to pull 3 of them out. And then place that on my wire. So that's how I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to take little tools here. I'm going to use my flathead pliers here, and I am going to bend the wire just at that angle, and then grab my bead wrapping ones and then wrap the wire around. Then I'm gonna take it out and just wrap. Now I'm gonna take my pliers and hold that hole that I created and just wrap the wire around. You don't have to do it this way. I just am deciding to do it this way. You can just go ahead and just create a loop and call it done. Then I'm going to take my cutters. I'm going to cut off this little excess. Okay. So now I'm going to get my string here, and I'm just going to cut a piece off and slip it through the hole, and I'm just going to put that to the side here. I forgot to turn on my hot glue gun, so I have that. While that's heating up, I still need to do a little centerpiece here. So while it's heating up, I'm going to go ahead and punch the holes. So again, if your paper that you're using is directional, make sure you are punching the holes in the correct side. Mine really isn't, so I can do either side. It'll still turn out fine with the paper that I use. And then I'm going to take my hole punch. You don't need a huge hole, but you just need it big enough for your hanging element to go on. And I'm going to put my hole punch in. I like to go on the sides where I had finished off my paper wrapping. And I'm going to go punch a hole here, turn it over, and punch a hole. You can eyeball it so you can get it to match up. Then I'm going to take my string. You don't need a lot, but you want to try to get quite a bit. And then go through one hole, bring it across to the other. So then you can have it like, and meet your pieces up at the top here. And then you're going to take your tassel or pom-pom or whatever that you had made, grabbing your top end pieces. From the bottom, you're going to drop it down, making sure that you grab it and pull it up. And here it all depends on how far you want it to drape. I want it to droop just a little bit, so that's how far mine is going to droop. Oops. And you're going to gather all your pieces, making sure your pieces are even. Alright. And then you're going to do a knot close to the bottom. Pull tight. And now I'm just going to cut up this excess here so that my pieces are even. And then do a knot at the top. So there is your lantern. And then let me go check on my glue gun so we can go ahead and finish off the tassel. Alright, so I went ahead and finished decorating it off camera. And I added a little yellow butterfly here in the centerpiece, and then I just added some little flowers from my stash here. And there you have it. So you have a fun little lantern that you can hang anywhere that you want to just see some happiness in your craft space, in your children's room, or whatever. So I really hope that you guys had liked this tutorial. And here are the other ones that I previously made. So I hope you guys liked this tutorial. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that little bell so you can always be notified when my next video comes around. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, guys, and I'll check you out in the next video. Bye.